Right, anybody got any questions? Interrupt, okay, as and when, because if you don't understand something, you've got to understand something about human behavior, because this is all about human behavior, all right? This is why there's this mess out there, okay? How do humans behave? One-on-one they behave differently to one in a group. And so what you've got is a natural distribution curve, right? Which is why you never need to say my opinion, okay? When you make a statement, you've reached that opinion, okay? By making that statement, what you're saying is, I have an open mind, this is my current belief, my current truth, okay? And I'm very happy for anybody to challenge my belief. That's when you make a statement. When you, oh, in my opinion, I'm not interested in your opinion, okay? Have you got the balls to stand on what you say? Or haven't you? If you haven't got the balls to stand on what you say, don't say it. If you do say it, you need to accept with an open mind that it's a current truth based upon the knowledge I have at this time, but when somebody rebuts it, a new higher truth comes in. Okay? So basically, with all of this stuff, what really counts is 80%, I call it the 80-20 rule. Okay? This 80% doesn't matter. So if you look at the UK population, 80% of it's irrelevant. We don't even need to bother about it. You've got the extremes, okay? The extremes is what creates the reality. Something needs to be observed to become part of this material. I.e., without hot and cold, there can be no temperature. Without good and evil, there can't be this nonsense that's going on in society. Without the belief of total dictatorship where one dictates to everybody is a free person to explore this reality, there can't be all of this political nonsense. So it's about what is the truth so that we can move to a new reality. Okay? So within here is another 80-20 distribution curve, and within here is another 80-20 distribution curve, and so forth, and so forth. Therefore, it eventually comes down to you and me. Okay? Somebody with an opinion, somebody with an opinion. One person can change the whole lot. So this is what it's about. The knowledge, you guys need to challenge my beliefs, because this stuff, okay, is what I'm trying to do is this stuff cannot be rebutted. When it cannot be rebutted, that stands as the highest truth. Okay? And therefore, the idea is when there's something wrong in there, people need to point it out. So keep challenging all the way through, ask questions. Okay? Because without that, we're not going to get to the truth. Remember, the truth changes with knowledge, okay? And therefore, always keep an open mind. Now, human behavior is the same. We've got a group of people here. Some of you, and Dwayne's one, okay? In fact, most of you are actually on that side. You're not scared to ask, okay? But normally, you'll get in a group, nobody wants to be called out, okay? Because imagine that I say something and then it's like, I'm wrong, you know, oh my God, okay, I'm going to get picked on. Therefore, if something doesn't make sense to you, ask. Because in all probability, 90% of them also don't understand. So what you're doing by asking, if there's something that you don't understand, what you're doing by asking is saying, I stand up for the community, for all of us. Okay? And once people start to see that we're standing up for one another, you'll overcome that fear of being the one. Because everybody has different social condition belief system, We all have a different upbringing, okay? But by standing up for one another, we create trust, that we respect one another's differences. We're black, we're white, we're tall, short, men, women, old, young, blah, blah. But we need to respect each of us as an individual. And each of us has something to contribute for the greater good. So please, stop and ask, debate, okay? I ran this in like 6 hours or so in Chipping Norton. It is not long enough, which is why I planned this now for 2 days, so that we really can get through it and get that depth of knowledge, okay? So, ask, don't fear, okay? Each of us has something to add to make us stronger as a group, and we respect one another, their viewpoints. We don't humiliate, okay? It's not about personalities. Free speech is about principles, not personalities. And together, united, we are much stronger. And, okay, a bit of housekeeping. Can people make contribution to Coffees with Paul? There's a pot there, something like that.
Oh,
you can just put in whatever, okay, as we go through. Thanks, Paul, for putting us up here and allowing us to do this.
Well, that's not that
We're doing that now?
No.
Yeah, no, just basically as and when.
That's
Okay. All right.
But without Paul, this amazing place and what is done here, and him allowing us to be here, please respect it, respect one another. Okay, we brought some food there, there's some bread and cheese and meat and blah, 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 help yourselves. Okay, and toilets are, there's a block over there.
In the gents, we're still trying to sort, it's the old flushy system. Some of them have gone a bit weird, but I mean, some they should work. But,
okay. And so, Lou's over there, don't put loo paper down the toilets because it's a...
no, that's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's sorted. Anything else housekeeping-wise, Paul? Okay, anyway, as we go along, we'll sort it out. Okay, anybody got any questions, and then we'll start to get into the material.
Okay, one question.
Yeah.
This, and Dwayne brought it up. What I am curious to find out is what is the line between causing harm? What is the line between it being your feelings and therefore it is your own responsibility?
Well, how old are you here?
69.
Okay, I'm 58, or about 58. Remember in my days there was the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. The reason for that is we choose to allow our feelings. Okay?
I'm with you all the way there.
So basically, if I hurt your feelings, that's a matter of your choice, and therefore you've created the harm to yourself. Your problem, not mine.
How do you get that principle in court? Because
we need to bring it into the court.
yeah,
It's simple. You'll understand how the courts work and where the problem is. Basically, if you ask the wrong question, you'll get the wrong answer, and that's fundamentally the problem we have. We're asking of the judge the wrong question.
yeah, I'm after I know it's a choice.
Yeah.
But what is it that that informs that choice? Which is
Your social conditioned belief system. You
Yeah,
have
but
the
what-
belief that, oh,
Yeah.
somebody can say something and, oh, poor me.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
stop feeling sorry for yourself. Grow up. Get over it. It's your choice how you are affected by the words of another.
Right, so that's my choice, and that is me, the inner policeman, deciding that for myself, right?
Yeah.
But what I want to do is to get to the principle, or to be able to say the words to the next trans person that I come across, who tries to impose upon me their
Right.
belief.
Okay, now already you see how the situation has changed. He's trying to impose their will on you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay?
but it's their feelings.
Yes, but the problem
That's
is
nothing to do with me, mate. That's between you and your creator. Okay? I don't want to listen to this nonsense. if you continue, you now are harassing me. That's the solution.
So this is
They have
about
no right to
legislation
impose
and
their
law.
will on you.
And that's exactly what Mark says. It's between the difference between legislation and law.
And law.
So they've created legislation, for instance, the Equality Act, yeah? There's no white people in the Equality Act, but there's people of colour, there's everyone else, there's people with disabilities. So that can't be equal among all, can it?
And
So that's not
therefore,
law.
the Equality Act itself is unlawful because it's creating discrimination.
And these people believe that
Unbelievable.
legislation is law,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. So you're arguing from a point of law, they're arguing from a point of legislation as law. That's the hard part. That's where we start changing the consciousness as we progress.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm just.
But we'll get
Yeah.
through this,
Yeah.
okay? Because you'll see, remember it's about rationality.
Yeah.
And one thing, by the way, I haven't got all the answers, eh?
Neither do I.
Okay?
That's a shame, Mark.
One thing I can tell you, one thing I can tell you is together we are co-creators of the future, and it starts with you. Be the change you want to see.
Yes.
Okay? So, Calvin, he knows, but he can't express it the way I express it. He knows. Okay? Which is why he's still here and not locked up yet. Why? Because when you know, okay, your energy field is different.
Yeah.
Okay? So I tried to get a COVID fine in the beginning because my philosophy is, in the Peacekeeper course, the only thing that I do not have first-hand experience of is being arrested and what happens in jail. I've managed to tread that line very finely so far. Okay? I try to get a COVID fine because I don't like to put out stuff I've not tried. The 3 notices I started testing in 2017 with anti-fracking. I know they work. Okay? And so, with this, I tried to get a COVID fine because I was trying to, test before I tell other people what to do. In lockdown 1 at Euston Station, you've got the fingers that go out to the train. There were a dozen police and 6 ticket collectors, and the train was there. I was the only one in Euston Station, and at that time they had armed police and stuff like that on the roads and everything in London. There was just about nobody around. And I just walked up with my ticket like this, past them all. Not one person blinked an eye. So, how can this be rationally explained? Okay? We have auras. We know that we can only observe, our best available science says we can observe 4% roughly of what there's known. Okay? And an excellent example that people are familiar with is the infrared cameras. Okay, you can see these energy fields, all right? There's energy, we're all energy. So, it's not like I got stamped on my forehead, don't touch this dude. Okay? So what's the only rational explanation? And same thing with Calvin, okay? Is when you walk with the knowing, your energy field is interacting with somebody else's. So what happened there in London was I walked past them, I sucked away their mask, and they were just like, oh, don't even look at me, don't even talk at me. It was as if I was invisible to them. Okay? And that's the only rational explanation I can find. And I actually believe it's absolutely true. But that's the way that it's you, it's inside you. You create this change, all right? So I express my stuff in my way. You should have seen Calvin in the court. Okay, those of you that were there, all right? Very different language, very different way of dealing with it. Okay? However, it is the knowing. And we walked out with a better result we could have hoped for. And the flipping legal department from the Ministry of Justice and the government ran away with their tails between their legs. Okay? That's the knowing. Plus, we had 40 people or thereabouts in the public gallery. As soon as they know they're being watched, and you don't need 40, okay? You only need 3. Okay? The person interacting with 2 witnesses. who are standing back and not risking themselves. So 3 people is all it takes to create this change. The reason for the 2 witnesses is, from the mouths of 2 witnesses may the truth be established. Okay? So really, it's not about massive numbers. The impact already that we're having in the courts is massive. Okay? Right, so let's have a quick break there, and then we'll really start to get into the material. 10 minutes ciggy break. I'm not very good with my timings and that, so do stop me if I go on. But also, so that people start talking with one another, questioning, and then we can start the next session just basically with a quick Q&A, and then we can go and move forward, okay? Cool.
Cool. Cool, cool. Cool.
You're not going to be interrogated.
Just pause that.
It'll be a breach of your